Hello and welcome back to the Real EFL YouTube channel, where in this video we are going to rank 10 of the biggest deals that have happened in the EFL so far this summer transfer window. I say we because I'm not on my own. I am joined by Adam Scully to my that way. No, that way. We'll get it right. And Ivan Newsom to my that way.
That's better.
Let's take a little look at the tier list that we've got set up for us. Okay, and here we go then. These are the 10 players. We've got 4 separate categories, starting at the bottom with absolute stinker. Hopefully nobody will be going in here, although, to be honest, there might be one or two. Then we've got will do a job, a player who, they can go and do sort of a consistent level job and performance for their new outfit. We've got good value, player who maybe move for less than what we think they actually should have done, and to a team who's going to be able to utilise them quite a lot. And then marquee mover, who are those big signings, those top tier ones that this transfer window will be remembered by. Okay, now first of all then, we are actually starting with a goalkeeper. So we're going to go, it's like we're creating a little 11. We're not properly, but we're going to start with Victor Johansson in goal, who has moved from Rotherham to Stoke for a reported around £1 million fee, if I'm not mistaken. So, look, Adam, let's start with yourself. Victor Johansson, whereabouts you've kind of put in this? What do you think about this deal?
I think this is a really, really good signing, by the way. I genuinely do. I think Victor Johansson could potentially play Premier League one day. He's only 25, which is relatively young for a goalkeeper. I think for 1 million, I think it was maybe reported 900,000, 1 million, or something like that. I think it's an unbelievable signing. The issue is he's been in the graveyard shift for 2 years and he's now got a promotion to the morgue. But I still think he's absolutely, talk about sink or swim. He was Rotherham United's best player for 2 seasons in a row. He was way too good to go back down to League One. He's now gone to Stoke City, who knows what to expect from them next season. But I really like him. I mean, like last season, he saved more shots than any other goalkeeper. I think Ainsley Pears from Blackburn had the second highest number of saves, and he was still 30 behind Victor Johansson. I mean, the poor guy, I felt awful for him. He was way too good to be at Rotherham in the position they were in. I kind of expect him to get a bit of a bigger move in Stoke City, but maybe they convince them of the project or whatever's going to happen over there. And I think this is a really good sign. So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go marquee mover. I think that's genuinely. I don't think Stoke City could have bought a better goalkeeper this summer. I really don't.
Going very high, Ivan.
I'm actually probably with you there, Adam, as well. I think it. Well, first of all, even sorry. I think it's great value. It's more than good value. Definitely, it's great value. I think for him to be $1 million. I mean, look at him last year. He was averaging over 4 saves a game. Like 4 saves a game for a keeper is, well, I mean, Rotherham were awful. So it shows just how bad the side he was in. Stoke aren't going to be a whole lot better, I don't think. But I think Adam's already said it. You're looking at free agent goalkeepers that are proven in the Championship that were on the market this summer. I think Johansson tops that list, and for him to only go for $1 million as well, I think that's quite crazy. I think so. I would probably have him in marquee mover as well.
It's a great sign for Stoke, by the way, but I question his choice to go there. But again, that's just my own personal opinion, looking at how bad Stoke were for the last 7 years.
I mean, I agree with you on that point, Adam. The only thing is goalkeepers are, they're one of the hardest sort of positions to be in a transfer window. And at least if he's going to Stoke, he's obviously been promised number 1, and there's the opportunity that he wasn't promised number 1 anywhere higher. Can you name off the top of your head 3 or 4 Championship clubs that are going to be in need of a goalkeeper this summer? It's one of those harder positions that you can kind of reel off immediately. So, although I do agree with you on that, I don't think it's quite so easy. I wasn't going to put him in marquee mover, I've got to be honest, because I don't think this is going to be one of those transfers that this time next summer we're saying what a move that was last year. Like, that was one of the biggest deals of the 2024 transfer window. But obviously I'm happy to go with the consensus on that. And I don't think it's outrageous at all to be calling him a marquee mover. Next up, Jayden Stockley. From Fleetwood to Port Vale. I'm really not sure on this one. So, Ivan, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I'm struggling slightly with this one because he's obviously, well, the fee hasn't been revealed of just how much he's gone for. But I'm really surprised that he's actually, well, staying in League Two, I guess, because Fleetwood went down. I thought if he's moving away from Fleetwood, it'd be to another League One side, or to a League One side rather than another League Two team in the form of Port Vale. 9 goals and 5 assists last season. He's superb in the air and physical. It's everything you kind of want from a striker in League Two. I think he'll get, well, definitely double digits, but maybe even to the top end of 15 plus. But I would probably put him in will do a job. We don't know just how much Vale have paid for him.
I'd say will do a job as well. I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but he's 31 in September. He's not a prolific goal scorer. He averages 1 goal every 4 matches, which is like decent. He'll get 10 goals, but he's not going to hit 20-25, I don't think. And even you can say, okay, but he's dropping down to League Two, so it'll be a bit easier for him. Yeah, but his record in League Two is the exact same as 1 goal in 4 games. Like it's good, but it's not. I don't know, good value, marquee move or no chance. I don't think it's an absolute stinker though. It's probably just will do a job. If there was a middle category, I'd probably still put will do a job. To be fair, I think it's a decent signing. I don't think it's anything more than that.
So when I just introduced him, I said I wasn't too sure. To be honest, I actually am sure on what I would have put him in, and what I would still like to put him in, but I've clearly been outvoted in this. Where do you think? Where would you guess that I'm leaning towards here, guys? Obviously, if you two are both going for will do a job,
you're going to put stinker, aren't you?
I am. I would like to put him in an absolute stinker. I don't think he's that good at all. I really, really don't think he's that good. I think he's got one tactic, and yes, all right, it might work in League Two, and that's just to absolutely bully people and just be. I won't use naughty words on a YouTube video because there might be kids watching, but that's just seems to be the character he is on the pitch. I'm not saying he is that off the pitch. I'm sure he's a lovely, lovely bloke, but on the pitch he seems to be that. And I look at Port Vale's other signings, and they seem to be sort of really ambitious. And they've also brought in Laurent Tolaj as well to be up front. And I feel like that's kind of one of those ambitious young signings that they've made. And then pairing him up with Jayden Stockley, it just doesn't seem to really.
You don't think he's good enough to play in League One though?
Not at a decent League One club, at a League One club.
I didn't say like Birmingham. League One could be boring.
In League One.
But I said decent. I don't even think he's good enough to play for a Wickham or a Shrewsbury, and they're two sides who I would expect to be in the bottom half.
Do you see how many goals Shrewsbury?
That's harsh. Yeah,
I know how many goals. I know how many goals Shrewsbury.
And they just
they're going to really struggle this year. But I don't think Jayden Stockley would have improved them if they had him this year. Even though they've lost Dan Udo, I really don't think that would be the case. So I don't think he improves Port Vale that much either. And it just seems a little bit of a weird transfer to me, and to be honest, not a good one. But look, I'm happy to go. Will do a job because he probably will get some goals. Might do a job in League Two, but also I know the wages that he was on at Fleetwood, and if Port Vale are paying anywhere close to that, well, then they should sack whoever it is in charge of their recruitment. Next up, then we'll move on because I've obviously sort of lost the debate on that. We'll move on to Gassan Ahadme, who has gone from Ipswich to Charlton only in the last. I think it was literally today, wasn't it? When we're recording this, was it announced?
Yeah.
So, look, I mean, Ivan, what's your thoughts on this one? Where are you sticking it?
I really, really, really don't like this deal at all. I think it's been reported that he's going for $1 million, and I just think £1 million is way too much for him. Yes, he's got an eye for goal, and he scored 11 in League One for Cambridge last year. But he's got to improve off the ball and in the build-up. His passing isn't good at all. He's literally just there to score goals, and I think, well, I mean, that's what you want from a striker, but I just don't think that will entirely work in Charlton's system. He's replacing Alfie May, and those are the biggest shoes in the division to fill. And I just don't think, yes, he's got potential. He's only 23 and he could be, I don't know, he could go on to way better things. But I think paying for £1 million for someone like that, there's so many better players on the market. So I'd probably put him in absolute stinker based off of the value kind of part of that.
Can I just throw something out there? Charlton Athletic have received 775,000 for Alfie May. They have just thrown all of that money and gone into a $250,000 deficit on a player who scored not even half his goals last season. I don't want to be disrespectful to him. I think he's a solid League One player, but and I understand before people jump down my throat. Yeah, the age difference. Okay, I understand. He's still only 23. Alfie May is in his 30s. I get it. But like, is it an improvement? I don't know. Will he end up being a 25 goals per season striker? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, Charlton haven't really. I don't think Charlton have improved on selling May. They brought in Matt Godden and Ahadme, who are again combined scored fewer goals than May, and they signed them both for a fee. But I'd probably. I don't. It's not good value and it's not marquee mover. I don't know if it's an absolute state. It's either 3 or 4. Charlie, what do you think before I give my verdict?
I think absolute stinker. I just think when you and look again, I'm probably just being harsh for the sake of being harsh here, but it isn't that. You know, it might look like that. It isn't that. I just think from exactly what you're saying there, when you compare that to Alfie May, yes, all right, I know that there's a like you said, an age difference and profile in terms of a business model, buying young. Buying young for cheap and then being able to sell it in their prime for more expensive. That's a great model when it comes to football. But it ain't going to work when you're buying young at £1 million at the age of 23. It just seems a little bit ludicrous to me that Charlton have done this, especially when you bear in mind some of the other business that they've done this summer, bringing in the likes of Alex Mitchell at centre half, who will be good enough to be in the Championship for an absolute fraction of the price of this. And I know strikers fetch more and all this. It just seems an absolute stinker to me. I think it's going to be one that Nathan Jones and the Charlton hierarchy are going to be regretting in a couple of years' time. Even if he does make an impact, I don't see it being a £1 million in League One level impact.
I'm going to say we'll do a job then, just because you both voted for absolute stinker, and they can come for you. I don't care.
It's the thing. The thing is for me is the fact that you said that Alfie May has gone for less money than him. That just puts me even further down. I mean, he is 7-8 years younger, but I just don't think that's a good bit.
So what Adam's just admitted there is he agrees with absolute stinker. He's just scared of all the YouTube comments. So look,
exactly. Well, they come for you. I don't care. I'll sleep well.
No,
you do what you do.
If you're going to comment now you need to go for Adam for being a wuss. Okay, that's all that needs to happen now.
I don't mind. There's no come for my hair. I put work into my hair.
You do? I mean, right. I really can't talk, can I? So next up, we have got a move that, I'll be honest, as a Lincoln City fan in League One, I wouldn't have minded him coming to us. I don't necessarily know if we'd have had the position for him, but that is Isaac Hutchinson from Walsall to Bristol Rovers. Ivan, you were on the League Two podcast with me on a few occasions last year, and we spoke about Walsall and Isaac Hutchinson and the impact that he made there. What do you think he can do at Bristol Rovers? Is this anywhere near a marquee mover, or?
I wouldn't put him in marquee mover only because there's names in this list that are bigger than that of Hutchinson's. But I think it's a superb signing from Bristol Rovers, and I'm also going to plug one of our other videos. I am very hot on Bristol Rovers this season. I think some of the business that they've done is very positive, and I think the signing of Hutchinson really kind of emphasises that. He's deserving of a step up after 23 goal contributions. He was Walsall's best player by a country mile last season. Well, maybe that's a bit harsh, but he was definitely their best player last season. I think he's cost around about 250k, and I think for that money, that's great value for a player who's got an upward trajectory. I probably wouldn't put him in marquee mover just because I think there's bigger signings at the present, but for the future, he's probably one of the most exciting in the list. So I'd have him in good value, but right to the top of that.
I agree with that. Like, genuinely, I absolutely agree with that. I think Anthony Evans clubs are looking for Anthony Evans, so he'll probably just be his replacement, I'd imagine. I know he can play on the left side as well on the wing, but he's going to play behind the centre forward. Chris Martin was the top goal scorer last season, I think, with 16 goals, and Evans then was second behind him with half of that. Hutchinson, meanwhile, scored, albeit in a, I don't want to say weaker division, but a division below, scored 13 goals and got 12 assists for an average Walsall side. I mean, I don't think if Hutchinson if he wasn't in the team, they wouldn't have been anywhere near the playoffs last season. I think they finished 5 points behind it, and Hutchinson was a big reason behind that. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how he does at Bristol Rovers. I think it's a really good signing, and as I said, we don't know the value yet, but good value, I think, is a decent signing.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit harsh to be saying only good value, but he's not quite a marquee mover. So yeah, look, I think we can all agree that he is going in there. I think he's a great signing for League One Bristol Rovers, and obviously a club, Ivan, as you've just said in your other video. I'm sure to go check that out. A club that you think could do quite well. So look, we've now got 4 players in. All 4 categories have been used. Is that going to be the case carrying on? Peter Kioso next up, from Rotherham to Oxford United. Obviously on loan at Peterborough United for the first half of last season. Captain there as well as a loanee. And I'm not even going to get started on that point. But Adam, views on that one. What do you think about
I don't
that?
want to go first on this one. Ivan, you go first. I'm afraid to give my verdict.
Oh, so you're being a wuss again. Okay.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna wait and see what you both say, and then I'll come in with my heavy opinions.
I think it's an excellent signing for Oxford. I mean, Kioso, you look at his spell while at Peterborough. Charlie, you've already mentioned he's taken something I was going to say away. To be captain of a side while you're on loan is, I mean, it shows just how highly thought of he is. However, he's not a marquee mover, and also I think he's gone for somewhere between about £600,000 and £700,000 supposedly, which for Oxford that is a lot of money, especially for he plays right back and can play centre half. I'm not saying that that's not an area that you should be spending in, but if you're spending £600,000-700,000 on someone, probably you're looking at an exciting player going further forward. I think he's a great player, and I think he'll do really well for Oxford. But I don't know if it's one that I'd put in good value. So I think they may have slightly overspent on him. So I'd actually probably put him in will do a job, as much as I do think it's quite a good signing.
Now that Ivan's given his opinion, Charlie, I'm happy to chime in. I agree. I think we'll do a job as. I think we'll do a job as probably is a good value again, as Ivan said. It's probably 600,000. It's not absolute stinker. He's a decent signing, but I don't mean to be harsh, but he's a fullback. I'm not going to put a fullback in marquee mover. If it was like Harrison Burrows or something who got 16 assists last season, that's an unbelievable sign for whoever gets him. But he'd do a job. He'll be all right. Like, he's a decent defender. Plays probably his best football in League One. I think he's only played 40 appearances in the Championship in total in his career. You know, he's all right. Like, it's a good sign, and I don't think it's anything more than that. Maybe you can put him in good value, but he's not marquee mover.
No, that's certainly fair. I think if this was a move to a League One club, I'd have him in good value. But the fact that it's a move to a Championship club, I don't think it can go any more than will do a job. Kind of echoing the thoughts of what you guys are saying there. So next up, we've got Aiden Morris going from Columbus Crew to Middlesbrough. This was a big signing. And Adam, I'm going to make you go first on this one.
Marquee mover.
Okay.
Marquee mover. Quick. Really good player. It's a lot of money. It's 3.14 million, which is I don't know. I'm not great. I'm asked the ratio of pi. Is that right?
Yeah, that is
I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was satisfying. 3.14 million. He's a really good player. He's going to be at the Olympics. If any Borough fans are watching this and want to watch him, if they don't care enough to watch the MLS, he'll be at the Olympics. I think Middlesbrough actually have the opportunity to deny him the opportunity to do that. I don't think that's the best way to start a relationship with someone, though. Under Michael Carrick, he's a defensive minded player. He doesn't score many goals, if any at all. He doesn't get assists, but he's very, very good as a protector of the back line. The only reason I think this could be a marquee mover is because he's Michael Carrick's manager, one of the absolute masters in English football of that position. And I think at 22, signing for 3.14 million pounds, if he has a really good season or two, you can move him on for a lot of money. And Middlesbrough's recruitment has been unbelievable in recent years. They sign players for relatively cheap, sell them for a lot of money, especially under Carrick. And I think Morris will be the next one. And I know you both don't agree, but I think this is a marquee mover. I think he's going to be worth a lot of money in a few years.
I think you've sold me on that, to be fair, Adam. I thought the thing is with him, he's a bit of an unknown quantity in the EFL. Obviously, he's 22 and has always played in the States. But it's the fact that he's joining a fairly, I guess you could call him a fairly ambitious side in Middlesbrough. Michael Carrick, I'm a massive fan of, and I think he's probably one of the best managers in the entirety of the EFL.
So handsome.
And that, yeah, great. But I think that he's got the potential to he's probably in this list. He's probably got one of the highest ceilings, and I think for that reason alone, I think he needs to go into marquee mover.
So, absolute stinker, because you claim that it's because of Michael Carrick as the manager, and Michael Carrick is probably the most overrated English footballer.
Oh, stop! Oh, stop! What are you talking about? Do you believe that?
No, that was just the
Oh my
easiest way
God.
for you to bite. That was a bite that Keelan would give in the Discord.
Honestly.
That was,
Actually,
okay.
I was ready to leave. Can I just say something as well? I don't want to throw stats in here, but just something that will also excite Middlesbrough fans. According to FB Ref, which again, people think what they want about stats, he is most similar statistically to Adam Wharton and Dan Neil from Sunderland. Of course, Adam Wharton I don't think he's made his debut yet for England at the Euros, has he? His competitive debut. But if he's anywhere near as good as that, what a player they have.
Yeah.
And Michael Carrick's a brilliant player.
He is, obviously, by all accounts, a fantastic player and a great move for Middlesbrough. I don't really think you can say anything otherwise on that. As much as I do enjoy winding you up, Adam, you are correct, and I think Michael Carrick could probably get the best out of him over the next season or two, and Middlesbrough could be a little bit of a force to be reckoned with him kind of in the heart of that team. So look, next up. Oh, this one hurts to talk about. I'm wearing my Lincoln City shirt right now. I am a Lincoln City fan for those that don't know. Lasse Sorensen. We let him go to Huddersfield Town for a fee that could get as high as £500,000 if sort of add-ons are met, which I think they're quite likely add-ons. I'm really struggling on where I can put this, so I'm going to throw this over to one of you two first. Ivan, where are you thinking for this?
I mean, I kind of thought that you were just going to talk about it for 2 minutes and then we just jump there. But I think I'd put him in good value. I think they've got, all parties have kind of got something out of it. Like Lincoln have got a good amount of money for him. Sorensen's got a good move, and I think Huddersfield are getting a really good player there who has the ability to progress further. And this, don't want to offend Lincoln, but it is a step up going to Huddersfield, I'd say. So I think it's a good value move on the whole. I wouldn't say it's a marquee mover. There's bigger moves or bigger moves out there, but I think it's a good value move, and I think he could be playing in a championship in a year or 2 years' time with Huddersfield. I
think it's a decent sign as well. Good value. I wouldn't put him in marquee mover, I'm sorry, but I think it's a good value. Yeah. But I think the field report, as you said, was like 500,000, which is for a League One side is relatively expensive. But he's worth it. Last season, he got 6 goals, 8 assists. He's going to be a key player for them next season, or at least in the starting lineup. I don't know if I don't know if he's going to be one of the best players. And I suppose my threshold would be for marquee mover, but he's still young. It's decent, good value.
Yeah, I'm torn between good value and will do a job, but I'll go good value because I think it is. And to be fair, exactly as Ivan said, I think that's actually a good deal for every single party involved there. We got a good value at Lincoln. Huddersfield have got a decent player. He's got it's a slightly diagonal move. I think it's not a sideways step. It's not a straight up step. It's a diagonal move at best. With that one. Look, he'll do well. I don't think he's going to excel. I don't think he's going to quite endear himself to Huddersfield fans as much as he did for Lincoln fans on the field. He will off the field. He's a top man. Always great with fans. I've met him a couple of times and he's always been really, really great to talk to. But I'm not quite sure that he's going to sort of become a fan favourite on the pitch immediately. Bearing in mind, it took him a season and a half to do that at Lincoln. But look, I'll start crying. We're going to move on. And we're going to go for one of the bigger moves over the last few days, and that is Alfie May moving from Charlton Athletic to Birmingham City. Now, who was just rubbing their hands there, getting really excited about that one? Was that you, Ivan? Or was that you, Adam?
Adam, yeah.
Was that you, Adam? Go on then, Adam. Where are you going with this one?
You need to hear me out, though.
Oh, I don't like when.
No, but you need to hear me out. You need to hear me out, though. You have to hear me out.
I think I might agree with you. Come on. Where are you going?
You have to hear me out. He's brought in because he was the top goal scorer in League One. His job will be to score a lot of goals. I don't know. He's what, 31? It's not. I don't think it's good value for a guy who might have one good season to pay upwards of. I think with add-ons, it's like £1 million for a club in League One. And also, people could go, "Oh, we get back into the Championship." You're basing that on you're basing that on the fact that you believe Birmingham City are destined to get back to the Championship. One key word: Portsmouth. 12 years League One, right? You've just, if Alfie May goes there and he does all right, scores 20 goals, and Birmingham don't go up, they've just spent £1 million on a 31-year-old centre forward. Again, I know I criticised Charlton for their signing of Ahadme, and I'll stand by that. But I don't think it's a bad thing, before people jump down my throat, that he's in, will do a job. I think his job is to score goals. He'll do that. I don't think it's good value, though. 1 million, upwards of 1 million for a 31-year-old who's going to be 32, I think, soon. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, I'm going to quickly interject before Ivan goes here, because I think Ivan might have immediately been disagreeing with...
He's so angry. I can see his little face.
Is it bad that I'm veering closer towards absolute stinker?
Oh.
I just think that the money that they are spending on it, and we're talking 775k as the reported transfer signing, 500k as a reported relocation fee, £16,000 a week in League One for a player who was in a struggling Charlton Athletic side. And yes, okay, he scored lots of goals. He will score goals. I understand that. It's just an absolutely ludicrous amount of money to be paying somebody at his age that is probably edging out of his prime. I'm happy to have him in will do a job. I'm definitely not having him any higher. I would be veering towards the top end of absolute stinker, bottom end of will do a job. It's
because I'm a great convincer, Ivan. I'm a master.
I was genuinely so excited when you were saying that you were going to wind people up here with your.
I'm not trying to wind people. I think we'll do a job as a good thing.
I'm saying like you're going to wind Ivan up because you know Ivan's going to be at the other end.
I think we'll do a job as fair. He'll do a job. He'll score goals. I don't think it's like groundbreaking business though. You're not gonna sell him for any more than you bought him. No resale value on that signing.
But that's why I'm having him personally in the top end of absolute stinker, because yes, okay, he might score goals, but there's no guarantee that those goals will get Birmingham.
It's not.
I don't think it's stinker though.
They could lose all of that money. They genuinely could lose all of that money. Go on, Ivan.
I don't think we're going to see a better signing this transfer window than Alfie May. And they've overpaid, and giving him a 3-year deal is a bit ludicrous. But if you want, but I think Birmingham, all Birmingham fans probably think they're going to go up straight away, and I also think they will go up. And a lot of that is down to the signing of May as well. I just think it doesn't matter if they even get a season out of him and he scores 20 goals and they get promoted. He's already paid back all of his fees and whatever. And I mean, they'll still be paying him 16 grand a week for another 2 years. But I just think if you want one striker in this league that's proven, and you want Alfie May, look at him. He's been in a rubbish Cheltenham team for 2 years, an awful Charlton team last year. And he's going to a team that's actually got clear ambitions of promotion. And I think we could see a new player next year. And I wouldn't say it's a good value move, but I also think it's probably going to be one of the best moves. He's the best striker that they could have signed for the league. And I just think if they want to go back to the Championship, that's a signing that is going to definitely help them.
We can't put him in absolute stinker, Charlie. I'm not having that. He's not a stinker.
I'm happy to have him in will do a job, but I'm saying.
But then what's will do a job for? What's will do a job for?
Well, he'll score goals.
He'll score 20 goals for you.
Yeah, that's his job.
That's his job.
But that's what they brought me in.
That's his job for this. That's his job for this season. My argument, like I said, my argument is just that, and I think Adam's probably along the similar wavelength. It's a very short-sighted move. You've just said it there. I'm like, okay, they might be able to get him. He might be able to help get them promoted, but then they're still.
They might get promoted anyway.
No, exactly that, and that's my point. I think this was just a buy because he was going to Huddersfield, so they're just going to come in and offer silly money to beat them. That's,
okay,
to me,
we'll do it. You can put him in. We'll do a job, but no lower than that. It can't go lower.
He's not a stinker. He's a good signing, but I just. Yeah.
I'm more than happy to have him in there.
And again, I don't want people attacking us.
Sorry,
It's a good side. I don't want people attacking us. I will do a job is a good thing. He will do his job. He will score goals. That's his job. To quote Roy Keane.
People may attack me, and I do apologise if you do.
That's fine. I can attack you. I don't care.
Yeah, no, exactly. Attack me as much as you want. Huddersfield fans will probably agree with me. Right, what I'll say now. Let's have a look. The next one then is Jose Cordoba from Levski Sofia to Norwich City, the centre half, making a move for, I think it was rumoured to be about £3 million, give or take. Am I right in saying that? I believe so. Yeah, I'm going to kick off with this one. I think that this is a really solid signing for a young player who was tipped to be going to Rangers. He was at Ibrox over the Easter weekend, I believe, sort of being given the kind of the hospitality A-star treatment there whilst they were trying to convince him to sign. So for Norwich to be able to come in and sign him, I think that's a great move. Am I quite set on marquee mover? Not quite, but I would put this at good value as an absolute minimum.
I can't lie, I've not watched loads of him, but I do think it's a significant step up. I mean, yes, he plays for his national team and doing at the Copa America. His passing numbers there have really stood out. And at Norwich, I think he could be that replacement for Ben Gibson. I'm just a bit uncertain on how he'll settle in potentially at Norwich. Obviously, $3 million for a fairly young defender isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Like, because Norwich sold Ben Godfrey for 25 million all those years ago. So to get someone that's on the up for 3 million, he could become an absolute monster. But also he could struggle. He could struggle in the Championship. So I wouldn't have him in marquee mover. I'd probably be. I don't know if it's good value or not because he's just not proven in. What is it? He's proven in the Bulgarian First Division, and that's. And I think that's the only way that I'm looking at it.
Defender of the year in 2023, by the way.
Exactly, and also is £3 million for Norwich is different to £3 million for Stoke City, as an example.
Yeah,
so you've got to take that into consideration when we're talking about value. So even if it is a bit of a miss, you'd like to think that they would still be able to recoup some of that money off to make it a decent value, no matter what.
I think good value is probably fair then. I think.
I just said marquee mover. I think he's a really good defender. I've actually watched him at the Copa America. He was brilliant. Played in the back three. He can also play in the back two, obviously, like he did in Bulgaria. But he's good in the air. He's really quick. He's strong. And I know for a fact, and he's really aggressive as well, because Johannes Hofterup will want to push that defensive line up. He's going to slot in there and he's rapid. He won't have to worry about balls being played in behind. And as well, he's still only young. And Hofterup has an unbelievable record developing young players, like he did at FC Nordstrom, which is one of the best academies in Scandinavia. I actually think this. I think it's marquee move because I think it was £2 million. I think they could sell him for 10 times that in a couple of 2-3 seasons, personally, because I think he's really solid.
To be fair, I mean, I said that I didn't quite see this being a marquee mover more towards good value, but then I'm looking at the players in good value, and Lasse Sorensen and Isaac Hutchinson, like Jose Cordoba is considerably better than those two in terms of moves this summer. So actually, I think you're probably about right, and actually, I think I'm going to change my mind and go to marquee mover. I'm just going to copy you.
I don't think I've been outvoted you.
King of ball knowledge.
We need to make sure that happens on the last one then, Ivan. Ivan, are you happy if we go marquee mover?
Yeah, put him in there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
But at the bottom,
That's fine. I mean, I'm going to say you're not going to cry, so it's fine. The 10th and final player that we've got is Jack Rudoni from Huddersfield to Coventry for a reported £6 million. This is a big transfer in terms of value from what it's now a League One club to a Championship club. Adam, you mentioned this one before we started recording. Was sort of quite shocked at the £6 million price tag. So what's sort of thinking behind this? Where's it going?
I don't think it's. You can't say we'll do a job because he's brought in for £6 million, which is a lot of money for a Championship club. I cannot say he's good value. I don't think it's an absolute stinker either. But then I don't think he's good enough to put in marquee mover. But I feel like I have to just for the sheer price tag, because that's a lot of money to spend on someone who just got relegated with Huddersfield. Playing okay, he wasn't marvellous, but Let me throw out a few names to you. Haji Wright, Victor Gyökeres, Callum Doyle, Callum O'Hare, all signed by Mark Robbins at Coventry when they were just meh, did okay. I mean, Gyökeres was what? I think he was on loan at like Swansea and he was all right. And now he's one of the highest goal scorers in Europe with Sporting in Portugal. So I'm going to put him in marquee mover because it's 6 million. And I don't think he's good enough to be 6 million right now, in my personal opinion. But I trust Mark Robbins' ability to to sell a player for an obscene amount in a few seasons. Marquee mover.
I think this was the hardest one to try and put in a category because I'm looking at the 4 that we've got there, and I don't really think he fits into any of them. He's a really good player, but like you said, getting relegated with Huddersfield, and he was one of their better players, but I don't really think they had too many standouts. If you're looking at from a fee perspective, I put an absolute stinker. I think they've overpaid for him, and I also think had they waited later on in the transfer window, bear in mind that he's been relegated with Huddersfield, and I think if they'd waited another month another month, someone may have came in, who knows, but I think they could have definitely got that price down later in the window. He's obviously got bundles of potential, and Coventry have got this track record of progressing talent, but I just think that it is a one that they've overpaid for massively on. So I think I find it hard to put it in marquee mover because you're drawn to the fee, but it's a fee which I don't think justifies the player currently. So I would actually probably put him in absolute stinker. As good of a signing I do think he is. It's just the money that they've just fluffed up because they've spent too much on him, I think.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I had him as kind of in my original notes on this. I had him in will do a job. I think he'll do just that. I think he will just do a job in a Championship Coventry side. I don't think he is the perfect replacement for the midfielders that Coventry are going to be losing this summer. And I think for that, they won't call this a marquee mover because you can't really see him being this upgrade on those that they've no longer got in that midfield. So for me, therefore, it has to just be a will do a job. He'll do a job at replacing the likes of Ben Sheaf and that who moving on. But I don't exactly think he's going to be. They'll need probably another 1 or 2 as well. So I can't have him in good value either because, as you've spoken about, that money is just far too much.
We should have done a jury's out category. It's too late now, obviously, but we should probably in hindsight we should have done it.
We'll just leave him down at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what? We are just going to leave him down at the bottom, and I want you guys in the comments.
No, have some bottle and put him somewhere. No, put him.
No, we're going to leave him down at the bottom. I want you guys in the comments to let us know where you think he should go.
Oh,
okay.
Put him in there.
No, I think we should let the viewers decide.
Well, what's the average? I suppose you can't really get an average of the 4, but I said marquee mover, Charlie. You said we'll do a job, absolute stinker.
So I guess it's
then if we'll do a job, it's like the top end of we'll do a job.
Actually, no. Do you know what? You're right. He's not staying down at the bottom, right? Sorry, viewers, but Adam has decided that he just wants to be outvoted, and it's going to be the first time of this episode. So I'm
You're
more
such a
than
snake.
Happy.
This is the betrayal of the highest order.
No. I was happy to let the viewers decide, and then you decided that you wanted to be outvoted. So it's fine.
It's fine. At least you showed some bottle, Charles. At least you showed some bottle.
Oh, the irony of the person that was too scared to say his opinion earlier in the episode.
I'm staying well out of this. Jesus.
That is smart, Ivan. So look, there is our list then. We have got our 4 separate categories, our 10 players ranked. In marquee mover, we have got Victor Johansson, we have got Aiden Morris, and we have got Jose Cordoba. In good value, we've got Isaac Hutchinson and Lasse Sorensen. In will do a job, we've got Jayden Stockley, Peter Kioso, Alfie May, and Jack Rudoni. And in absolute stinker, we have got Gassan Ahadme. So let us know down below what you think. Do you agree with where we've put Jack Rudoni? Should he have been higher or lower? Have we made any mistakes on any of the others? Sure we have. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. So many more videos coming thick and fast at the moment as the season ramps up to near its start. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.